Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it and hopefully improve it. Before we get started, I humbly ask that you take a moment to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. This is going to be a series, and this channel has some other videos as well, sports related, entertainment related. We do a lot here, trying to grow the audience. We appreciate the fact that you're here right now. We ask that you continue to stay with us. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. If you're interested in a full, thorough breakdown of how this imperialism works, please check out the first 3 minutes or so of the 1966 video, which is linked in the description below. Otherwise, we are ready to start. Today, we're going to wrap up the 1970s, and we're going to wrap up the unprecedented dynasty of the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1979, here we come. When we say unprecedented, we mean it. The Steelers, Super Bowl champions in Super Bowl 14 for the fourth time in 6 seasons. To date, no NFL team has won that many titles in that small a span. Their opponents this year, funny enough, were the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams, a powerhouse team throughout the 70s, this was probably their weakest season. They only went 9-7, yet they made the Super Bowl. The Rams' weakness is reflected in the 1979 overall rankings. The Steelers, unsurprisingly, ranked number 1. But take a look at these rankings as a whole. The whole top 5 are AFC teams. The whole bottom 5 are NFC teams. This is crazy, less than 1 decade after the merger. And it's a bit jarring to see the Minnesota Vikings, imperialism's most successful team to this point, in the bottom 5. Will the AFC guarantee themselves an imperialism champion? Can the NFC sneak up and steal it? There's only one way to find out. It's time to play imperialism. We're actually going to open this imperialism with an expansion run. The Seahawks go first. They go south into Oregon. Next up are the Patriots, almost the Seahawks again. Northwest, they're going to catch Vermont there. Next up are the Chargers. They're going to go to their home away from home. Southeast into Arizona. Now we have the Broncos. They will head northeast themselves into Nebraska. Up next on the wheel for the second time are the Patriots. They're going to go straight south into Connecticut. And the wheel will once again hit the Patriots. And they head west. So, the 3 most protected teams in imperialism as it pertains to their locations are the Broncos, Seahawks, and the Patriots. The Broncos stayed in isolation. The Seahawks no longer are in isolation. And the Patriots are going to have to play. They head straight west, which is funny because that would have been in game if it was their first spin. But they are going up into Buffalo to play the Bills. The Patriots have been steady, if unspectacular, in building a 17-7 lead. They headed up the middle to Sam Cunningham, breaks a tackle, gets in the rest of the way. Cunningham always been a highly underrated player in the annals of the NFL. His performance in imperialism here has been great. Hopefully he gets some recognition. Buffalo score late to no avail. Patriots win this game 24-14. So the Bills are the first team in 1979 to be eliminated from imperialism. The Patriots, who before this never played before the 10th game, get the first victory and take over the state of New York. Who might be the next team to join the Bills in leaving imperialism? This is a close call on the wheel here. It's going to hit the Giants just barely. They go slightly to the northeast, so hey, Patriots, you're back. Now you get to host the Giants, trying to become the first team to ever win the first 2 games in imperialism. Patriots lead 7-3 in the third quarter, facing 3rd and goal from the 11. Grogan on the play action, fires on the slant to Stanley Morgan. Stepped up big for the Patriots in 1979, makes that catch. It's 14-3. They force a punt. Calhoun returning it, and he is stripped. That ball's picked up by the Giants. Offensive lineman Jim Clack runs it back in for the big guy touchdown. The Giants haven't done much in this game, but it's 14-10. And now in the fourth, they have the ball in Patriots territory, trying to take the lead. They hand off to Doug Kodar, stripped by Rod Schote, ball loose, picked up by the Patriots. They'll be able to run the clock out from here, a lot closer than it had any right to be, but the Patriots prevail 14-10. So they've done it. The Patriots become the first team to win the first 2 games in Imperialism. A couple of teams tried before and couldn't get it done. Northern New Jersey is now part of the Patriots territory as they obviously move on. We venture back into the wheel to find that we once again will land on the Denver Broncos. The arrow is going to take them slightly southwest, not south enough to hit New Mexico. They go to Utah, and they are no longer in isolation. This season's Imperialism has seen a lot of expansion. Let's see if we can find a game here. This will land on the Colts, and they will go southwest a little bit further to the west, and that would have hit Virginia. But as is, they're going to hit Washington, D.C. The Colts are going to play at the Redskins. The Colts try to make something happen very late in the first half, down 21-7. Greg Landry fires a pass off, and it's intercepted by Ray Waddy. He's running it back. He keeps going, and he keeps going. Hey, we had to speed up the film there a little bit. That's a touchdown for the Redskins. Ray Waddy completely turns the game around, 28-7. They went back and forth in the second half. The Redskins win this game handily, 38-21. So once again, the state of Maryland is not being kept by the Colts. We've mentioned they're not going to be good all the way through their days until they're moving to Indianapolis. Washington takes that state over, expands their land, and moves on in imperialism. It's time to spin the wheel again, and again it will land on the Patriots. Will they have to play another one here? Not yet. That arrow goes to the east. They will expand into the tiny little state of Rhode Island. Maybe the wheel will give us a new team this time, and indeed they will. That's going to be the Browns. Arrow's going to take them to the southwest. So while we got a new team, we got a similar result. This is an expansion. The Browns will take the state of Indiana. We're definitely hoping to find a game here. This will be between the Seahawks and the Jets. It gets the Jets. They will head to the northeast. So looky here. At the very least, that's hitting Long Island, which is now Patriots territory. This team that normally waits till the very end to get on the field will now be on the field for the third time in 4 games, and they will be hosting their division rival, the New York Jets. We're tied 7-7 in the second quarter. Jets facing a 3rd and goal. Richard Todd finds Jerome Barkham in the end zone for the touchdown. The Jets are going to take this 14-7 lead into halftime. We pick things up now in the third quarter. The Patriots are closing in from the 4-yard line. Steve Grogan rolls out, throws to tailback Horace Ivy. He was covered, but he makes the catch. That'll tie things up at 14. The Patriots now are going to quickly get the ball back. From the 27-yard line, the Jets bring the defense up. Handoff to Ivory, pitches it back, flea flicker, touchdown to Harold Jackson. Great play there by the Patriots, some trickery. They take the lead at 21-14. The Jets, not to be deterred, they are now at the 46-yard line. The pitch goes to Clark Gaines. He breaks a tackle, hurdles, and gets the first down and a bit more. That was a huge play. The Jets now on the next play from the 25-yard line. Hand it off. They pitch it back. One good flea flicker deserves another. Derek Gaffney with 4 seconds left in the third quarter ties us up at 21. Now the Patriots have 1st and goal. Steve Grogan drops back, looks for Stanley Morgan. He drops it. Oh my goodness. Sam Cunningham stopped on 2nd down. Now 3rd down. They try Cunningham again. They stand him up. Kicker John Smith coming out for the kick. Oh, he barely makes it. But that's a 24-21 lead. Now here come the Jets. It's 3rd and 5. Up the middle to Gaines. Ooh, this is close. The measurement, he got it. The Jets continue to live. In the shotgun now, 2nd and 5. Todd throws to the end zone to Wesley Walker. He makes the catch, and the Jets, with less than 2 minutes remaining, have taken the 28-24 lead. Can the Patriots respond? They've gotten the ball to the 43-yard line. The Jets bring the defense up. The Patriots call an audible, and they're going to throw. This goes to Stanley Morgan. He makes this catch, gets inside the 40-yard line. That was 17 yards, but he is injured. Oh my goodness. Don Westbrook is going to take his place. This pass goes to Harold Jackson, makes the catch at about the 12-yard line, under a minute to go. Getting intense here. On first down, Grogan is going to try for Westbrook. It's knocked away. You think Morgan may have caught that. He did drop a wide open pass as well, though. The handoff goes to Horace Ivory. Drags the defender. They've held him up inside the 1. 23 seconds left. That was the Patriots' last timeout. They're going to try Cunningham. Stop. That clock is ticking. Under 10 seconds to go. They get the play call in. This is going to be it. All of it comes down to this play. The pitch to Ivory. Cunningham makes the block, and Ivory scores. All those times Cunningham couldn't break through with the ball, makes the block without it. 2 seconds remaining. The Patriots, where have you guys been? We have missed you. We didn't know we needed you. A 31-28 heart-stopping victory over the Jets. Okay, let's catch our breaths here for a moment. In the short term, what we're going to look at here is the map with the rest of New Jersey falling to the Patriots. They have provided us with one of the best games we've ever had in Imperialism, and they're 3-0 already this season. Can they carry all this to something greater? Woo! Alright, coming down from that excitement, we'll spin the wheel again. We'll get the Eagles, and they're going to head southwest to play the Redskins. We are stuck in the Northeast right now, and every game has involved either the Patriots or the Redskins. Here we go with the next one. The Eagles maintain a 7-0 lead here in the third quarter. It's 3rd and 11. Ron Jaworski will drop back, find tailback Wilbert Montgomery, breaks through the middle and keeps going, gets it inside the 15-yard line. Huge play there, 40 yards. They now have 3rd down again inside the 10. Jaworski will throw it to Montgomery. A devastating runner, but is doing it in the air on this drive. That gives Philadelphia a 14-0 lead. We now enter the fourth quarter. Washington has 4th and 3. From their own 46, they're going to give it to John Riggins, and he'll get the first down and a little bit more. Picking up 10 yards, giving Washington a chance now in this game. Next play, Theismann takes the snap. He drops back. He's going to look for receiver Danny Buggs, and he makes the play inside the 15. First down. Now here we are, the next play. The pass to Buggs again. Touchdown Washington. They're not out of this yet. 14-7. They do kick it away. Philadelphia has the ball at their own 27-yard line. 3rd and long. Here comes the rush. Pass to Harold Carmichael's overthrown. So Washington has it back now at the 10. Theismann will look. Throws to Buggs again. And once again, a touchdown. And the Redskins have tied this game up at 14 apiece. And they've got the ball back again now. From the 27-yard line. Theismann drops back. Throws into the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Ricky Thompson. Now it's 2nd down. They're going to keep it on the ground. John Riggins gets around the end. Power and speed. Goes down at about the 13. And they're not wasting any more time. 20 seconds to go. They're going to bring out the kicker, Mark Mosley. This is a 31-yard field goal. It is good. And we have another come from behind victory, another thrilling game, a little lower scoring, but just as exciting nonetheless. Washington shut out for 3 quarters, come back and score all their points in the fourth. They beat the Eagles 17-14. So looking at the map here, like we said earlier, we're kind of stuck in the northeast. But that is the Washington Redskins now taking over the land of the Philadelphia Eagles. And we've played 5 games in 1979 Imperialism. 3 won by the Patriots, 2 of them by the Redskins. We'll see if we stay in this region for now, or if we're going to go to a different part of the country. After 2 Heartstoppers, we get back to the wheel, and it's just going to stay with the Chicago Bears. Arrow's going to take them north, so we're going to relive the rivalry here. The Packers are going to be hosting the Bears. We're scoreless in the second quarter, but the Bears are inside the 10-yard line. This handoff goes to Walter Payton, and he makes the defense look silly. Dives in, gets the touchdown, breaks the gridlock on the scoreboard. The Bears lead 7-0. Later, they lead 10-0. The Packers are looking to respond as the first half's about to expire. From the 20-yard line, David Whitehurst throws to the end zone. That is James Lofton using that speed to get behind the defense. The Packers will get on the board themselves. They're going to trail 10-7, but they did make it closer. Now, in the fourth quarter, it's still 10-7. This handoff up the middle to Turdell Middleton, and he goes all the way through the defense into the end zone. The Packers, for the first time in the game, have taken the lead at 14-10. What can the Bears do to respond? It is 3rd and 18 from just outside the 40. Mike Phipps looks for fullback Dave Williams. Incomplete. Robert Thomas is going to try a 58-yard field goal. Does he have the leg? Just barely. And the kick is good. So it's 14-13. Now the Bears are going to have to onside kick this. They do so. That ball is loose, and they've got it. Okay, now they're at the 42-yard line. Mike Phipps is going to look for his fullback again. Dave Williams makes the catch, gets the first down. 39 seconds left. Now there's 25 seconds left. From just inside the 32, Phipps drops back, takes off, hurdles, picks up a few yards, going to make the field goal easier. Time's ticking away. There's 6 seconds left. We've got another last-second game coming up here. 42 yards after making it from 58. Thomas lines it up. It's good. And the Bears have given us 3 straight crazy endings. A 16-14 victory over their biggest rival, Green Bay Packers. So looking at the map here, the Bears are going to take over the Packers' territory. And what a season 1979 has been so far. 3 straight games decided very late, even in the last few seconds. What might we have in store next? Only the wheel can start to tell us that answer. It's going to land on the Buccaneers. Which direction will they go? Northeast. So what we have here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for the first time, their first game will not be against the Dolphins. The same is also true for the Falcons. They're going to play each other, and it's going to be in Atlanta. As the first half winds down, the Buccaneers lead 14-0. Doug Williams drops back the pass, floats it to fullback Jerry Eckwood, makes a diving catch, is able to get up and run it into the end zone. That will give the Buccaneers a 21-0 halftime lead. The defense was great throughout. A 35-7 final score victory over the Falcons. After 3 straight last-second victories, Tampa took care of business without any problem here. They take over Atlanta's land. It is their first ever victory in Imperialism. Congratulations to them. We head on back to the wheel and see that it lands on the Miami Dolphins. No need to spin the arrow. They're going to Tampa Bay. No rest for the weary. The Bucs are going to be on the field for the second straight game. In the fourth quarter, the Buccaneers lead 15-14 after an earlier 2-point conversion. Doug Williams flips a pass to Morris Owens. He goes up for it, makes the catch, scores the touchdown. The traditional extra point will give the Bucs a 22-14 lead. Miami on the comeback trail. 2nd and 10 from their own 47. Bob Greasy looks for tight end Bruce Hardy, and it's picked off by Jarris White. The Bucs will tack one on, win the game fairly handily, 29-14. This was a good Bucs team in 1979. They made the NFC Championship game. Their defense is quite ferocious, and they get the job done here, taking the Dolphins off the map and out of the game. The Buccaneers now enter a period of isolation. Let's see what else 1979 has in store for us. This wheel will select the Houston Oilers. They will head slightly northwest, so they're going to get a second shot in a row at the Dallas Cowboys. Can the Oilers finally break through during this period of their having a good team? We're tied at 10 in the third quarter. The Cowboys are inside the 20-yard line. Tony Dorsett bursts through the middle. They don't lay a finger on him. Breaks the plane, breaks the tie. Dallas leads 17-10. Can Houston come back? There's only so little time left in the third quarter. The sweep goes to Earl Campbell. He's got power, drags away, breaks a tackle, breaks another. Now he's taking off. They're pursuing him. Drags another tackler. Now he's going to use a spin move, and that's a 60-yard touchdown run to end the third quarter. We're tied at 17. Now the kickoff in the fourth goes to Tony Hill. It's short. He is weaving in and out of traffic with a hurdle, and he takes off. He's past the 20. They dive and don't get him. He goes down at the 6. The Cowboys now have 1st and goal. Elvin Bethea breaks through the line. That is a forced fumble on Roger Staubach. The Oilers recover, ending the Cowboys' easy drive there. But on the first play, that's quarterback Dan Pastorini going down with an injury. Gifford Nielsen replaces him, and the Oilers are forced to punt on that drive. Now Dallas has taken it down to the 19, a minute 38 to go. Staubach throws it up for Tony Hill, makes the catch as he gets hit, holds on, giving Dallas the 24-17 lead. Can Houston come back with Nielsen at the helm? They are at their own 47-yard line. He drops back, finds Rich Castor, just gets the ball there. The drive continues. They've taken a sack. It's 3rd and 18. Nielsen has time, throws it up to Castor, and he goes up and gets it. Oh my. Next play from the 22. 26 seconds to go. Nielsen looks for his number 1 guy, Ken Burrow. A diving touchdown catch with little time on the clock. The extra point is good. We are now headed to overtime in this highly contested game where it's been close throughout. It only makes sense that they're on equal footing at the end of 4. Dallas will get the ball in overtime from their own 35-yard line. Dorsett up the middle. We've seen him score on this play already, and he is off to the races, gets it down to the 27-yard line. Dallas takes a sack. They're now on the edge of field goal range. 2nd and 16. Staubach is going to look for Drew Pearson, makes the catch, gets inside the 5, can't quite score, but Dallas here on 1st down is not wasting any time. This is essentially going to be an offset extra point for Raphael Septien. Can he get this ball through? He can. That will be the game. The Oilers fought with everything they had. Dallas at home is still proving too much for them. They win 27-24. We've mentioned the Oilers were in the AFC Championship game in 1978. They did it again in 1979, but they can't beat the Cowboys. Dallas will now take over and own the entire state of Texas. They move on in Imperialism. With another thriller in the books, we respin the wheel, and it's close, but it'll hit the Denver Broncos again. and they will expand again. That goes southwest into the state of New Mexico. So the Broncos are now facing opponents on multiple sides. We'll spin the wheel again, and it's going to be close again, but that's going to stay with the Chiefs. Arrow's going to take them to the northeast, so we're ready for another intrastate battle here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis. The Cardinals have provided offensive fireworks throughout the years in Imperialism, but not in this game. They trail 17-0 in the fourth. Jim Hart throws a desperation pass to Otis Anderson that's picked off by Tim Collier, and he is getting around all the offensive players and getting it back into the end zone for the pick six. The Chiefs will extend their lead here to 24-0, and that's all she wrote. The Cardinals, purveyors of offense, have been shut out by the Chiefs 24-0. The state of Missouri is no longer shared between the Chiefs and Cardinals. The Chiefs take it over completely, and they move on in 1979 Imperialism. With 10 teams eliminated, we're going to do some expansion. The Saints will head northeast. They will take Mississippi. Next on the wheel will be the Chargers. They head to the northwest. They will take Nevada. Next on the wheel will just be the Chiefs. They're going to head to the north and take over the state of Iowa. Now we have, it's close, it's going to be the Patriots. They head northeast. They're going to pick up New Hampshire. Now we have the Buccaneers, a guaranteed expansion. They go north. They're going to grab South Carolina. It's going to be a close call again on the wheel. It's the Steelers. They're going to head southeast. So the expansion is over. They will head into Washington, D.C. and face off with the Redskins. The Redskins take their opening drive all the way down to the Steelers' 15-yard line. Joe Theismann drops back, looks for receiver Danny Buggs. Just like that, the Super Bowl champions are facing a 7-0 deficit. We now travel to a little bit later in the first quarter, actually near the end of the first quarter. From the 18-yard line, Terry Bradshaw drops back to pass, finds his tight end Benny Cunningham, but he is stripped of the ball by Lamar Parrish. Washington recovers. They're going to turn this into a field goal, and they're going to have a 10-0 lead. That lead persisted into the second half, where the Steelers are looking to get back in this game. From the 15, the pass goes up to Lynn Swann. He makes another acrobatic catch in the end zone. It is now 10-7. Washington, having had to lead the whole game, is going to look now to extend it. From their own 38-yard line, the handoff goes up the middle to John Riggins, and he bulldozes his way past everybody, and he takes off. He might break this all the way. He is caught from behind, and that ball is out. John Banaszak forces the fumble. Riggins puts a lot into his runs, and maybe that caused him to lose control. So, after a long drive, Pittsburgh has it at the 2-yard line. The sweep to Sidney Thornton gets them into the lead. It is now 14-10 Steelers. Washington's going to be looking to come back, though. From their own 39-yard line, they're going to give it to Riggo again. And he just obliterates everybody in front of him. What kind of running is that? He took 3 guys out, 25 yards. Now from the 35, they're going to give it to him again, under 2 minutes to go. And he looks like he's slowing down a little bit, but he's still got that power. Dragging him, and the ball's loose again. Donnie Shell forces the fumble. Pittsburgh recovers. They're eventually going to go down here. John Riggins is a very important player to these Redskins, but he cost them this game. The Steelers go into Washington and win this one 14-10. So early on, it looked like we'd have an inevitable Patriots-Redskins matchup. Now that matchup looks like it's going to be Patriots-Steelers. The Redskins are out. Pittsburgh takes over. And the Northeast, outside of 2 teams, has basically obliterated itself. Another little quick round of expansions here. The Broncos are selected. They will head to the Northeast and actually grab South Dakota. Close call here. It's going to go to the Saints. They're going to go Northeast as well. They're going to grab Alabama. Another close call will be the Chiefs. they go north. That's not going to be an expansion. They're going to be playing at the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings control this game, leading 20-0 as the third quarter comes to an end. Tommy Kramer dumps the pass off to Ricky Young. He gets around everybody, gets a little bit of speed going. That's a touchdown for the Vikings. They extend their lead to 27-0. Kansas City would be able to pull one back by the end. Too little, too late. The Chiefs try to invade Minnesota. It does not work. Vikings win 27-7. Looking at the map here, while the Northeast has cannibalized itself, the Midwest is doing something very similar. The Vikings take a big swath of land from the Chiefs, and next to the Bears are looking like the team in that region. We go back to the wheel, and it's going to be another close call. The wheel likes the close calls, and it likes the Patriots. It picks them again, but they go northeast to the last place now that they can expand. The state of Maine now falls into the control of the Patriots. Back to the wheel we go, and it looks like it's going to tease the Patriots again, but it's going to stop with the Bears. Arrow goes southwest, so we were talking about the two powers in the Midwest. They are going to collide here for a big chunk of the north-central part of the U.S. The Bears will travel to Minnesota and face the Vikings. The Vikings maintain a 13-point lead in the fourth quarter. Tommy Kramer is holding the ball. The pressure's coming. He gets it off. That's Ahmad Rashad. Had to stop and catch it, but is able to run away from the defense, get the touchdown. That'll make the score here 34-14. Chicago got one back very late. They actually did okay in the fourth quarter, but Minnesota controlled the middle part of this game and gets the 34-21 victory. Minnesota now is going to have a nice big area of land in the Midwest. They removed Chicago and, as is usually the case, appear to be a threat moving forward. As more teams continue to exit imperialism, we spin the wheel again and get the Broncos. Might we get a game out of them? Nope, that's going to the southeast. It's a close call, but they're going to expand into the state of Kansas. We still haven't seen a game out west yet. The wheel is going to give us the Chargers. Might we get that game now? Yes, that arrow goes northwest. That's going to hit the territory of the Rams. So the Chargers, a number 2 team in our rankings. The Rams, the NFC champions. That's going to be our next game. As we might expect from this Charger team that has an excellent offense but not so much on defense, this game turned into a bit of a shootout. We're getting a little montage here of all the touchdowns that were scored up until the fourth quarter. Now, some of these were scored on defense. The Chargers get a defensive touchdown here. The Rams bounce back with their own touchdown. This is Wendell Tyler going around the end. They can't get a hold of him. And then the Chargers fumble in the end zone. That's Dan Fouts. The Rams pick it up and score their own defensive touchdown. The Rams get another one. And the Chargers are down here, but Dan Fouts, facing the pressure, fires to John Jefferson. John Jefferson strikes again. Each team scored 4 touchdowns, but somewhere in there, the Chargers missed an extra point. So they trail 28-27. The Rams on the edge of the goal line are stopped. So kicker Frank Corral is going to come out to extend this to a 31-27 lead, and he does just that. Now the Chargers are going to try to fight back. They're at their own 47-yard line. Dan Fouts drops back, sends one man deep. That's Charlie Joyner. Gets him the ball. It's a chase to the end zone. They can't get him. The Chargers have now taken the lead. They will make this extra point. They lead 34-31. The Rams are coming back, though. From their own 49, a minute 18 to go. Fred Dean rushes the pass, but it's caught by Preston Denard. He gets it down to the 20-yard line. The Rams, though, now face 3rd and 11. This is huge. If they get a touchdown, they'll take the lead. Field goal would tie it. The pass goes to Wendell Tyler. It's knocked away. So the Rams will come out for the 40-yard field goal attempt. And Pat Hayden stands up and throws it. Incomplete. Oh my goodness. They essentially went all in and lost. The Chargers hold on by stopping the fake field goal and win this game 34-31. So for all these seasons during the 70s and late 60s where the Rams were always very good but could never break through, in Imperialism they always won at least one game. In real life 1979 they went to the Super Bowl, but they lose in Imperialism and lose their land, and they were the only team to win at least one game every season. That now is no longer a distinction anybody carries. The Chargers are moving on. We've now eliminated half the NFL's teams, many in thrilling fashion. The wheel will select the Saints. They'll go northwest. So that's an expansion. They will grab the state of Arkansas. Here, the wheel will once again select the Saints. This time, though, they're heading east. So we're getting an interesting matchup here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be hosting the New Orleans Saints. Tampa leads 14-7 in the third, but they're punting in Saints territory. That is Tom Blanchard trying to get that off. He does not. It's blocked. Tampa falls on it, but it's Saints ball. They've got the ball now at the 16-yard line of Tampa Bay. This is Chuck Muncie around the end, and he sends that Buccaneer defender on his way while scoring the game-tying touchdown. It is now 14-14. The Saints have the ball again in Tampa territory into fourth quarter now. Archie Manning fires to Wes Chandler, gets behind everybody and scores. The Saints show off their comeback chops and they've now taken the lead 21-14. Tampa now trying to get a response. It's 4th and 5 from the New Orleans 15. Doug Williams will throw the screen pass to Ricky Bell. He drops it. Tampa will get the ball again though. 1:02 to go. They are in Saints territory. They try to screen again. Bell gets it this time, and he's able to evade several defenders, spins around, and is finally taken down at the 6. On the next play, 30 seconds to go, Doug Williams throws to Isaac Higgins. He's covered, but he makes the catch. That will tie things up at 21 with precious little time to spare. This game is now headed for overtime. The Saints get the ball first, move it into Tampa territory. It's 3rd and 9. Archie Manning in the shotgun. Flips it to his fullback, Tony Galbraith, who takes it down to the 21-yard line. On 2nd down now, the Saints bring out kicker Garo Yepremian, formerly of the Dolphins, from 38 yards. He makes it, and the Saints go into Tampa Bay. They need overtime, but they win 24-21. So we've mentioned that Tampa Bay was much improved in 1979. So too were the New Orleans Saints. They got all the way up to 8-8 that season. That was actually the first time in franchise history they didn't have a losing record. They win this game. They take Tampa Bay off the map. And they now own a good portion of the Deep South. After yet another nail-biter close game, we're going to spin this wheel again. That's just going to stay with the Patriots. No need for the arrow. They are only going one place, and that is into Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. The Steelers take their opening drive right down the field where they face a 3rd and 12. Terry Bradshaw throws to Franco Harris, who dives, makes the catch, gets up, runs a dude over, and scores. That was a fun little play. The Steelers jump out to a 7-0 lead, where this game stayed all the way until the third quarter. 2 minutes left in that quarter. Patriots from the Steelers 30 to pitch to Horace Ivory, and he has enough speed to outrun the steel curtain, get into the end zone, tying this game up at 7 apiece. We now head to the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh will have the ball on the 38-yard line. It's 3rd and long. The dump-off pass to Sidney Thornton, dragging his way for the first down. Eventually the ball gets down inside the 1. They give to Thornton, and he pushes his way in this time. Thornton was the star of that drive for sure. The Steelers reassert the lead 14-7. New England, though, will have their chance to make a comeback. They're at the Steeler 36. Grogan hands off to Ivory. Gets around the end. Jack Ham will force the ball loose. The Steelers will pick it up, and they're running it back, not going down. Finally go down. They're able to run the clock out. It wasn't pretty, but the Steelers win this game 14-7. So the Northeast has been at each other the entire time in this imperialism. Not surprisingly, the Steelers are the last team standing. They now own the Northeast with the removal of the Patriots and have a great chance to not only defend this season's Super Bowl title, but last season's Imperialism title. After yet another close game, we're going to spin this wheel and get the Minnesota Vikings. They head northeast, and that's going to bring the Detroit Lions into the game for the first time. They will host the Vikings. Facing a third down in the third quarter with a 14-7 lead, the Vikings drop back. Ahmad Rashad on the comeback makes the catch, gets past and away from the defenders, and scores this touchdown. The Lions, as we mentioned a few seasons ago, we're going to start falling on harder times. We're starting to see that now. That made it 21-7. Our final score of this game will be 29-10. So the Lions make their first appearance in any shape or form in 1979 Imperialism, and it doesn't go well. Unable to defend their land, the Vikings will take it over and are certainly now, without question, the team in the Midwest. We've had a nice run of games without too much expansion. Let's see if we keep that up. This is just going to stay with the Seahawks here. Arrow's going to head southeast, and it goes east enough to miss the 49ers and hit the Chargers. So like their expansion brethren, the Seahawks will look to get on the board with their first victory. Doing so at the Chargers will be a tough ask. This game is not the shootout that the Chargers-Rams game was. At 7-7 in the third quarter, this pitch to Clarence Williams led to a touchdown. On defense, they forced this fumble, are able to pick it up and run it almost all the way back into the end zone, right down to the 1 yard line. Very first play after the recovery, Lydell Mitchell scores this touchdown, gets the Chargers from 7-7 to 21-7 very quickly. That's all they needed. That is our final score. The Seahawks go into San Diego, take a 7-0 lead, but fall 21-7. Looking at the map here, the West Coast looks like it belongs to the Chargers. They take over Seattle's land, but they still have two little pockets of resistance in the 49ers and the Raiders. We're now down to our final 10 teams, 3 of whom we haven't seen at all. The 49ers are one of those. And they get drawn to the southeast, and that photo finish tells us that they will hit the Raiders' territory, another team we haven't heard from. Now these two teams will play each other. The 49ers take their opening drive right down the field and show they mean business in this game. Wilbur Jackson goes up the middle for the touchdown to give the Niners a 7-0 lead early. The teams would trade touchdowns back and forth. It's now 14 all. The Raiders are at the 3 yard line. Ken Stabler looks for Cliff Branch in the end zone, finds him, touchdown. Raiders now take a 21-14 lead. Cliff Branch having a big game to this point. The 49ers not to be deterred. They are doggedly determined in this one. This pass to Paul Hoffer goes for the touchdown as well. And again, the teams are exchanging touchdowns. No one's been ahead by more than 7 points. It's now 21 all. The Raiders at the 15 yard line. The 49ers now have a 24-21 lead. Stabler looks for Branch. A touchdown for Branch. He had nearly 200 yards receiving in this game. He was basically the Raiders' offense. The 49ers now mounting the comeback. They're down to 2nd and 18. A minute 40 to go in the game. Play action. Steve DeBerg looking for Freddie Solomon, and it's picked off by Raiders linebacker Monty Jackson. Right place, right time for him. The Raiders tack one on. They struggled in this game as far as putting the 49ers away, but they win this 35-24. So this little pocket of resistance within the area of the San Diego Chargers has now been settled. The Raiders will take over the 49ers' land and are currently being enveloped by the Chargers. With only 8 teams remaining, we will spin this wheel. It will land on the Raiders, and we can forego the arrow spin. They have nowhere to go but to San Diego to play the Chargers. We're tied at 7 in the second quarter. The Raiders face a 3rd and 10 in San Diego territory. The pass goes to Mark Van Egan, spins around the defender and takes it all the way in for the touchdown, giving the Raiders now a 14-7 lead. The Chargers pull back a field goal. It is 14-10 now. Raider ball at the 5-yard line. Again to Van Egan, up the middle, bullies his way in for the touchdown, giving the Raiders now a 21-10 lead. A bit surprising given San Diego's offensive firepower. They're putting that to use here. They get it down to the 2-yard line. This is Clarence Williams up the middle for the touchdown. That will reduce the lead to 21-17, and we have the entire fourth quarter yet to play. Oakland has the ball, 3rd and 6. The Chargers need a stop here. Stabler looking at the end zone for Cliff Branch, and it's knocked away. That'll lead to this Jim Breach field goal attempt from 39 yards, and it's no good. So here come the Chargers now. They've got under a minute to go. Dan Fouts drops back, fires to John Jefferson. He has to dive for it. Oh my, a better throw. He might score, or at least get further than the 25. So here we are now on 2nd down, 22 seconds to go. They're going to run it to Mike Thomas off the bench. Interesting play call. Gets it down to the 17. 7 seconds left. This is it. And they run it up the middle. What play calling was that? The Chargers gift this game to the Raiders. 21-17. The Chargers looked like they were going to be in complete control of the West Coast. But it is now the Raiders who take over the Chargers' land and assert their own control. This exciting season of Imperialism is winding down. The Raiders are selected again. They'll head northeast, though. That's an expansion. They're going to grab the state of Idaho. We will try the wheel one more time, and it's going to slow down right in time to hit the Cowboys. Arrow's going to take them slightly northwest. That's enough to creep up into the Broncos' territory. So the Broncos are finally getting on the field. They'll be at home, but they've got to play the Cowboys. Tie game 7-all in the third quarter. The Broncos got a little drive going here. Craig Morton drops back to pass. He floats it deep to Haven Moses, and that'll break it open for the Broncos. They take a 14-7 lead. They're going to have some chances to put this game away, but they're going to keep shooting themselves in the foot. This is an interception in the end zone. They're now at the 20. That's a fumble. Dallas recovers. Dallas will take advantage here. 4th and 1. They're going for it down 14-7. Tony Dorsett gets the first down and the touchdown. Denver had every chance to put this away. They may regret it. It is now tied at 14 apiece. Dallas is going to get the ball back on yet another turnover by the Broncos. Another interception. This is going to be run back to the 30-yard line. They're going to have to settle for the field goal here, 45 yards. Raphael Septien is true. Dallas takes the lead. Denver's going to try to come back. They're all the way back at their own 30-yard line. Another deep pass to Haven Moses is complete. He picks up about 37 yards. They're not able to do much more, so they're going to send Jim Turner out for a 44-yard field goal. The kick is up. It is good. So, Denver might feel lucky to be in overtime, but they might also feel like they shouldn't be here in the first place. Either way, we're getting some extra football. The Broncos win the toss, but can't do anything with it. They're forced to punt here, and that punt is blocked. Oh my goodness, the Cowboys are going to get the ball at the 16-yard line, and they're wasting no time. Raphael Septien's coming out for a 34-yard field goal to put the game away for the Cowboys, and there's no doubt about it, it's good. Little anticlimactic for an overtime game, but another 1979 close victory. The Cowboys win this game 20-17. The Cowboys now, looking at the map, are going to likely have the most amount of land. They will take Denver off the map And now only the two Ohio teams have yet to see the field, with the Bengals yet to be called upon at all. Our next spin of the wheel will give us the Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers. The arrow is going to take them southwest, so they're not going to play. They're going to expand. That will be the state of West Virginia. We'll spin this thing again, and we will get the Oakland Raiders. Arrow's going to take them due east. That's going to hit the Cowboys' territory. So this battle will be for the largest piece of land to this point. Raiders at Cowboys. Dallas jumped all over Oakland early on and continues to pile on here in the third quarter. This pitch to Tony Dorsett around the right end goes in for a touchdown. The Cowboys extend their lead to 31-3. Dominant performance. Back and forth in the fourth quarter, we get a final score of Dallas 45, Oakland 18. So as we mentioned, the Cowboys will now have the largest piece of land. They take the Raiders off the map, and they are the team in the West. We are now 5 games away from crowning a champion. The wheel lands on the Cowboys. They're going to head slightly to the northeast. They will expand into the state of Wyoming. We'll try the wheel one more time. It'll give us the Pittsburgh Steelers. Arrow goes west, doesn't dip too far. That will hit the Cleveland Browns territory. So the Browns will be getting on the field for the first time. They get to host the champs. The Steelers again demonstrate their ability to get out to a quick lead. This is a 21-yard touchdown run by Franco Harris where he drags somebody from about the 10 to the 5-yard line. Pittsburgh lead 7-0. This game is now 7-3. Cleveland have the ball at the Pittsburgh 23-yard line. Brian Sipe throws it deep, and that is caught. Run into the end zone for a touchdown. Dave Logan giving Cleveland the 10-7 lead. Cleveland now have the ball in the third quarter. Brian Sipe will drop back to pass. The Steelers get him, but he didn't get the safety. And on second down, Calvin Hill, still playing, runs the ball out, preventing the Steelers from getting anything done there. It is still 10-7. Pittsburgh at their own 25-yard line. Terry Bradshaw fires it to Lynn Swann. Makes the catch. Time is ticking. We are now 33 seconds left in the game. They've moved it to the 33. Bradshaw looks for Stallworth. He overthrows him. And Cleveland will clinch this game with this Tom Darden interception. And hey, for good measure, it looks like he's going to run it all the way back for the touchdown, rubbing salt in the wound of their divisional rival. What a play to end the game. Tom Darden's a pick six merchant. 16-7. Browns defend their land and upset the Super Bowl champions. Looking at the map here, first things first, let's go ahead and remove Pittsburgh from the map and give Cleveland their land. We have a very unique situation here. 5 teams remain. None of them are from our top 5. So no matter what happens really here, we're going to have an upset champion in 1979 Imperialism. And who among these 5 will be the favorite? Certainly the Cowboys are one of them. Arrow's going to take them southeast. They're going to go ahead and claim the state of Oklahoma. And now the wheel looks to be landing on the other favorite, 3-time champion Vikings. Arrow goes to the northeast. That mostly runs into their own territory, but at some point there around New York, it's going to hit the Browns' territory. They're sharing a border. That's going to be a big game coming up next to get us down to our final 4, Vikings at Browns. Cleveland's control this game, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal in the fourth quarter. They lead by 10. Brian Sipe fires to Dave Logan. That connection's been on. That is a touchdown. The Vikings will fall behind here by 17, and they're not able to catch up. An exchange of touchdowns gives us a final score of 38-21 Cleveland. The Browns were at home, but given the Vikings' overall pedigree, we have to look at this as an upset. The Browns will take over the Vikings' land. And now we have an interesting Final Four. The Cowboys are the only ones who have ever even been to an Imperialism final, let alone won one. The Bengals and Browns have never won a Super Bowl, and the Saints only have, but it would take another 30 years for them to do so. Let's find out what's going to happen. Believe it or not, we're going to be doing some expansion here. That lands on the Saints. Photo finish to the northeast, they grab the state of Tennessee. Next up are the Cowboys. They're going to head north, taking Montana. The Browns are chosen. We're going to get another photo finish here. Look at that. They cross the plains to hit North Dakota, missing Dallas. The Browns again, they'll go southeast and grab Kentucky. The Browns again, they will head north. Okay, so they have completely surrounded the Bengals and are now attacking them. This looks like a military strategy to me. But the Browns are going to travel into Cincinnati. We're having the Battle of Ohio very late in Imperialism. The teams traded touchdowns in the first half. Late in the first half here, it's 14-14. Brian Sipe will find Reggie Rucker at the 13-yard line. Takes it in the rest of the way. The back and forth kind of stopped here. Cleveland will take a 21-14 lead into halftime. It is now 28-14 in the fourth quarter. From the 1-yard line, the pitch goes to Calvin Hill, and he slowly gets his way in for the touchdown, giving Cleveland a 35-14 lead that they clearly would not relinquish since he got one toward the end. But the final score of this game will be Cleveland Browns 35, Cincinnati Bengals 20. So looking at the map here, it's not a big land grab, it's just the part of southern Ohio that's been sitting there this whole time. Cleveland expands their land, and we have such a big contrast to what we had in last year's Imperialism. When we got down to 3 teams, they were all in isolation. Here, there's only 3 states left. Will they get claimed, or will we go straight to a game? Let's go find out. All potential matchups are available as we spin this wheel. It will land on the Cowboys. They're either going to Cleveland or New Orleans. They're going to New Orleans. The Cleveland Browns will play for the 1979 Imperialism Championship. Will they play the established Cowboys or the upstart Saints? That game is next. First quarter, Dallas already leads 7-0. They have the ball at their own 44-yard line, both teams making changes at the line. The pitch goes out to Tony Dorsett, beats the edge, gets around, her defense isn't there, the diving tackle misses, and he is gone. Dallas in the first quarter have jumped out to a 14-0 lead. It would appear that the route is on, but New Orleans is being stubborn. It's now 14-7 in the third. They have the ball just inside the 10. The handoff goes to Chuck Muncie, does the old moonwalk into the end zone, and the Saints defense has stepped up in this game to keep Dallas off the scoreboard this whole time. Now they've tied it up with a pending extra point here at 14. Unless they go for 2, which is what they're doing. Wow, they got nothing to lose here, right? No one expected them to be in this game, let alone be competitive in it. Lots of motion pre-snap. The handoff goes to Muncie, and he gets in. And the Saints lead 15-14, but Dallas decided no more screwing around. This pass to Tony Dorsett gets through about 2 guys and gets down to about the 6-yard line. Next play, Staubach drops back, throws to Drew Pearson, got away from his defender, scores the touchdown. So Dallas had been shut out for 2 full quarters, come back now and take the lead 21-15. The Saints, though, keep coming back 3rd and 3 from the Dallas 16. The play action, the pass in the end zone. Oh my goodness, Archie Manning, he could not have handed that ball off any better. Ike Harris makes the touchdown catch. Here comes Dallas, though, from their own 41-yard line. Roger Staubach looks for Drew Pearson again, makes the catch and gets a lot of yak. Passes the 30, gets down to about the 27. Big play there, 32 yards. They're now at the 16-yard line. The pitch goes to Tony Dorsett. He's done everything in this game for Dallas, and he gets this touchdown to reestablish the Cowboy lead. Would that be enough? It's 28-22. New Orleans gets the ball back from their own 18. Dallas drops the defense back. New Orleans calls an audible. The handoff goes to Chuck Muncie around the end. Gets a first down, keeps going. Breaks a tackle, spins away. Keeps going, spins away again. What a huge run on this potential game-winning drive, 51 yards. Very next play from the 31. The pass goes to fullback Tony Galbraith, makes a nice catch, keeps on going, picks up 23 yards. They might score too quickly here. First and goal from the 7. Play action to Muncie, to Wes Chandler, touchdown New Orleans. And now they're back in the lead. What a seesaw this has turned into. 29-28. Dallas now. A minute to go. They're going to run it to Dorsett. He's had a huge game, but time's a-ticking. They're going to run it to Dorsett again. He got the first down. Okay, that's good. 36 seconds left. They run it again to Dorsett. The Saints are all over that one. They run it again. Who's calling the plays here? This is a big gain, though. He's down at the 40-41, not in field goal range. 7 seconds left. This is it. And they run it to Dorsett again. He goes down, and that's the game. We saw the Chargers do this earlier, and now the Cowboys have done it to themselves, taking themselves out of the game. The Saints pull off the huge upset here. They win the game 29-28, and they're going to the Imperialism Championship game, and they're going to be facing the Cleveland Browns. I don't think anybody could have seen this coming. This has been a wild Imperialism. From close games to crazy results, we've had it all, and now we're going to get an Imperialism Championship matchup between two teams who've never even sniffed the title game before. Incredible. We're going to spin this wheel and find out where this game's going to be played. Here's the big spin that's going to decide where this game is played. It lands on Cleveland, so the game will be in New Orleans. This is for all the marbles. In 1979, the Browns went 9-7. The Saints went 8-8. Both teams missed the playoffs. Yet, here we are, Imperialism 14 championship game. Who's going to win? The Browns have controlled the entire first half and lead 7-0 as it comes to an end. Calvin Hill takes his handoff up the middle and scores another touchdown for Cleveland. That gives them a 14-0 halftime lead. The Saints pull a little bit back here. It's 14-6. The Browns have it at their own 22-yard line. The Saints bring the defense up. Cleveland calls an audible. Brian Sipes sends him out, throws the pass downfield to Ozzie Newsome by himself at the 50. He keeps going. He avoids the diving tackle. Can he get all the way in? They catch him, but it's too late. That is spectacular. A tight end, a Hall of Fame tight end, but a tight end making a 78-yard touchdown catch. New Orleans now has the ball at the goal line. Handoff to Muncie. He dives in for the touchdown. The Saints finally get into the end zone. They make it closer. It's 21-13. Cleveland can't count this win yet. They have the ball at the Saint 32. The pitch goes to Calvin Hill. Gets around end, and he breaks a tackle, and he fumbles. That ball is loose. The Saints are going to recover, and with 2 seconds left in the third quarter, have the ball. This will be their chance to get back in it. Archie Manning drops back, throws it to fullback Tony Galbraith, and he fumbles. Clarence Scott forces it, and Cleveland, before the fourth quarter, will get the ball back. Now they have it at the 44. The Saints again bring the defense forward, and again, Cleveland calls an audible, checking into a pass play. Brian Sipe throws it down to Dave Logan, makes the catch, and he is dead. They got him at the 1-yard line. Very next play, actually it's second down. Mike Pruitt will get into the end zone, give Cleveland a 28-13 lead. New Orleans really has to do a lot to get this comeback. Unfortunately, Chuck Muncie fumbles here. Tom Darden, the other safety, forces that fumble. Cleveland will score on the drive. They will win this game 35-13. It was close, but then not really. Cleveland did lead the entire way before pulling away at the end. What we have here is something that I don't think too many people would have expected, maybe for any season in Imperialism. But here in 1979, it is the Cleveland Browns, that orange helmet logo that sits atop the entire United States of America. They are your 1979 Imperialism champions. The 1979 season saw the Pittsburgh Steelers win their 4th Super Bowl in 6 years, doing so against the Rams team that had finally broken through and made the Super Bowl themselves. Imperialism saw an entire different story. The Rams were one and done, the Steelers won twice, but they were both close games, and the team that beat the Steelers, the Cleveland Browns, took the Imperialism Championship crown. Their opponents were shockingly the New Orleans Saints, who, like the Steelers, also won 2 very close games. Let's take a look at this Browns roster, starting with the offense. Brian Sipe is at quarterback, not a Hall of Famer by any means, but he was always very good. He had some great talent around him across the line and in the skill positions, none more so than Hall of Fame tight end Ozzie Newsome, who we saw make that incredible touchdown in the championship game. Looking now at the defense, they were led by that incredible safety combination of Tom Darden and Clarence Scott, making plays all throughout, especially in the championship game. The rest of the defense sees a long list of great NFL veteran-type players like Lyle Alzado and Clay Matthews. Our scoreboard from 1979 saw lots of incredible games, a lot of very close games, 3 different overtime games. The first half of our game certainly provided that, and the second half didn't let us down. We saw that the Cleveland Browns don't show up till the end, but they won 3 straight games, sat out the second to last game before taking the championship. We see a lot more parity here in 1979. 10 different teams won multiple games. Only one team won more than 3 games. That was the Browns over at 4-0. Toward the bottom of the standings there, for the first time ever, we see the Rams take an offer, as they went one and done in 1979. Because of that parity, we don't see a whole lot of shifting here in the overall standings. The Vikings remain on top, followed by the Cowboys, Rams, and Redskins. What we do see are the Packers dropping down to 13-13, losing their winning record. Only 9 teams now have one of those. The Seahawks remain the only team without a victory, as the Bucs got 2 this season and got off the schneid. I can't possibly thank you enough for getting this far in the video. This was a longer one. Lots of expansion, lots of close games made for longer highlights, but you did it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video. Please share it with somebody you think might enjoy it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon for notifications. This was Imperialism 14 in 1979. If you're watching this as it comes out, 1980s video is just a few days away. We have so many other things going on in the channel as well. We hope you find the time to check those out. Let's take one last look at what is maybe the most surprising result we've had in any Imperialism to this point. Yes, the Browns had a winning record in 1979, but they missed the playoffs and certainly weren't a favorite to win Imperialism. However, they did just that. We look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so very much, and we hope you have an awesome day.